Jim, thank you for sitting down with me. We're at PGDC here this week, and you were recognized at the recognition luncheon. You'll be retiring this year after a long career with AAFC here in Manitoba. And looking back at your career, I know there's probably a lot of different things, but what's the one most rewarding aspect of your work for you and why?
I guess if I have to refer to just one, it would be the people. The people you work with every day within AFC, within provincial government, different levels of government, industry groups, producer groups, private people that you just work with. Very rewarding to work with a lot of these people. You learn a lot from them. Despite the fact that they may think that they don't know much, just talking to them, you find out things that become, very interesting and maybe worth exploring. You find out they're nice people. They're just trying to make a living, trying to make a go of things, trying to help people solve their problems, and generally good people to work with. It's a lot of fun getting to know them, and that's probably the most rewarding thing, the people.
You've contributed a lot to research on cereal smut, ergot, rust diseases. What motivated you to focus on those particular areas in your career?
Oh, well, to be fair, when I was, when you're hired by AAFC, generally you're given an area that you're supposed to work in. So some of that certainly would be, those were the areas I was supposed to be working in. So I did. But there's a little bit of freedom to move around, and certainly the ergot of wheat was an area that it seemed to be a bit of an issue, and so we decided to pursue it. It's a floral infecting pathogen similar to the loose smut of wheat and barley. So it was felt that our program had a bit of expertise in that area, so maybe we should pursue that. But within these diseases, when people say you study a certain disease, there's also the freedom to study certain aspects of diseases. And that's where, as a scientist, you get interested, trying to solve certain problems or get more information on certain problems. So you just understand the pathogen better, and hopefully that'll mean you'll understand the disease better.
When you think about all your years at AAFC, how have you seen plant pathology evolve over that time?
Well, of course, I think with a lot of areas, one of the things probably that has evolved the most in biology-based programs is molecular biology. The ability to study these organisms and their relationships with their hosts at a molecular level has really increased the amount of knowledge we have. It's helped developed very good control techniques or understand the pathogen better. And really that's an area that has changed the whole study of plant pathology a lot. And then in the field increased some of the new farm implements and technologies used in the field have been useful in helping us study how the pathogen works in the field. Probably technology is something that, as a scientist and probably in most areas of work, you just have to keep up with and use it to how it serves you best. I think there's always the danger that the technology may make you the slave, but no, you have to try and use the technology to how it serves you best. Take control of it.
Kelly Turkington paid tribute to you earlier at the recognition luncheon, and he mentioned that you've mentored many colleagues and contributed to disease evaluation teams for decades, especially here at PGDC. What's that mentorship meant to you over the course of your career?
The mentorship, of course, is something that it means a lot. I don't really see it as mentorship as compared to just being friendly, being with colleagues, talking about different experiences, different knowledge that one may have, different ideas, different ways of looking at things. And I guess with scientists with a little less experience, I guess younger scientists, trying to help them through some of the pitfalls and hurdles of a scientific career, and what things that they really need to look after and what things maybe don't have to be that concerned about that, because they do get worried about, are they doing the right thing? And often if they sit back and look at it, for the most part they are. And it's in a way, it's not for me to judge how they do it. I mean, they're the expert. They have their ideas and they should follow them.
Plant pathology has undergone major shifts over the years, just like any area of the industry. And what do you see as the biggest challenges facing plant disease management today?
Probably a changing world environment is changing, the agricultural environment, and plant pathogens are greatly affected by environment. So changes in environment will affect the plant pathogens, which will possibly mean that certain diseases maybe we don't have to worry about anymore, but there will be new ones that come in. And how do we adjust to new diseases? How do we approach them? Especially if it's something that nobody's really worked with before, you're really starting back at square one. I think environment has a huge impact. And with changes in environment, you get changes in what's going on in the field. And as a plant pathologist, there will be changes in what you have to look at. What do you have to consider and keep in the back of your mind is important and something that should be followed up on.
What about funding changes? AAFC's evolved over the years like every other area of the industry. Has that had any impact?
Oh, absolutely. I think producer groups certainly have increased their funding for agriculture, and that's been a huge boon. Certainly, it gives us opportunities to pursue things that we probably couldn't have under previous to them adding their funding to the mix. But funding goes up and it goes down. It's like everything else. And so some years when the funding's good, you have to take advantage of it. And, as they say, strike when the iron's hot. Other years when the funding's not so good, what you really have to do at that point is sit down and focus and decide, okay, what's important to get done here? And what's something that maybe I don't start this year? Maybe I have to put it off a year or two. It's just part of the game. It's part of like everybody's job. Sometimes you do what you can with what you have. And sometimes that means focusing on priorities.
What are you looking forward to in retirement?
I often look at it as, okay, I'm going to be like a 5-year-old again before I started school, and the day is mine to do. And I'm looking forward to that. Although I suspect I will have to plan a few things to go into that life.
Do you have any advice for the young people entering the field today?
Yes. Like probably most jobs, don't sweat the small things. Focus on what's important. And by all means, try and enjoy yourself. Try and enjoy what you're doing. In research, we're very lucky in that we get to pursue, to a certain extent, we get to pursue what we would like to pursue in our science. And that is, that's a big plus. Try and enjoy that. And when the day comes when there's just too many people demanding things, maybe close your office door and focus on your science. Because that's where the joy comes. And that's where the important moments come. And enjoy your colleagues.
Good advice. Thanks so much, Jim.
Oh, well, thank you for the interview.